Hello and welcome to the Astrology New podcast. I'm Kerry Hourigan and today we'll be looking at the super new moon in Aquarius happening on the 22nd of January 2023. We'll also look at Pluto in its conjunction to the new moon, Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, along with 5 planets in fixed signs, and there's 5 planets in air signs. And a couple of shows that I felt related very well to Aquarius, both on the good side and the not so good side. But firstly, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the original land carers, the Awabakal people, where this podcast is recorded. I give my deepest respect to elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge sovereignty has never been ceded. So just a reminder before we start, you can get a free mini astrology report that includes a very detailed birth chart from Astrology in You. I created a video to show you how to create a birth chart with transits at astro.com, which both of these are very handy in following any astrology that you may be doing. And you can find the podcast on iTunes as well as Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, Amazon, Stitcher, and there is a couple more, but I can't remember what they are. So I won't even try, and we can now get into the podcast. So moving on to the new moon in Aquarius, it will be happening on the 22nd of January 2023 at 1 degree and 32 minutes depending on your location. So to see where this specifically relates to you, look to the house, which is the life area. This will be transiting in your own chart along with the other transits mentioned, as this will affect you personally. The new moon is a super new moon, meaning the moon is closer to the earth than usual, so it will be incredibly powerful. And so just quickly, in evolutionary astrology, we equate the moon to our ego. It's our subjective filter to which we view the world from our own perspective, and we're conditioned as well based on our childhood, culture, society, our beliefs and experiences all contribute to our perspective, and this is why we can view the same thing as someone else but see it differently. The new phase is where we set an intention to begin a new cycle, and in the super new moon in Aquarius we can experience flashes of brilliance, out-of-the-box ideas of thoughts and concepts, and inclinations of being drawn into the things out of the ordinary. So looking at the archetype of Aquarius, Aquarius is a fixed sign, its ruling planet is Uranus, and it rules the 11th house. Aquarius has 2 rulers, Saturn and Uranus, and in knowing this, you can see how they must work together. Saturn was the original ruler. In 1781, Uranus was the first planet discovered with the telescope, and this expanded the known limits of our solar system to the universe beyond. Saturn represents the old and Uranus the new. And when the limitations of the old become too restrictive, outdated and stale, as they are in our time, Uranus is the shattering force that shakes up, breaks up and shocks these old forms. In doing this, trauma is associated with Uranus, as we must adapt quickly to sudden change. Many times it is due to ignoring or resisting the change that must and will occur. We are seeing this play out in the elite, which is represented by Aquarius, with their destructive ways of trying to control and dominate the human family due to their desperation of wanting to keep the old ways going. Therefore, Uranus and Aquarius both relate to liberation, freedom, equality, innovation, reforms, social rights, speed. We all notice that how things are speeding up all the time. Rebellion and truth. And you can understand how things are on our planet with the unrest, the protests, the rebellion and exposure of corruption as truth rises to the surface, as it always does. Aquarius is futuristic, therefore to look and move forward, we need visionaries for a world of community, respecting nature, compassion for all living things and equality. With Aquarius comes detachment and objectivity to see the whole picture and how all the moving parts work. Old ways, concepts and behaviours that have outgrown their usefulness in every area of life, both collectively and individually, are being shattered. When this shattering takes place, there is freedom to function with the greater expansion of our consciousness. Now, as we always look at the health and distortion of the archetypes, those with strong Aquarian energy, in general terms, and this depends on the degree, display high level of standards, refinement. They're witty, reflective, civil, very open-minded, and they're visionaries, and they detach themselves to see the whole picture so decisions can be made. They feel they are different and unique from everyone else and can be elusive, often doing well in big organisations as they have good leadership qualities and are not afraid to try new concepts, ideas and ability to look at things from a higher vantage point, to try different ways. Although this is great for the whole picture, they do need to come down to earth from time to time to look more at the details and how things work and will be achieved. They can often be misunderstood as not caring or not interested, and this couldn't be further from the truth, as they are heart-centered and generous. Now, the distortion of Aquarius in general terms is in the extremes of imbalance. As we take the most brilliant and healthy qualities of these energies, the shadow of Aquarius can result in the unevolved, shattering, rebelling and protesting the old ways, whether on an individual or collective scale, and this demonstrates the lack of self-control, which is ruled by Saturn. This results in destructive and irresponsible behaviour. This is a transitional period that we are going through as we leave the age of Pisces and enter Aquarius. The ability to have self-control is the highest expression of Saturn, and the lack of self-control is the lowest, which leads to suffering. We all must take responsibility for all our actions. There is no excuse at all not to, and by not taking responsibility is a sign of great weakness and destruction. In Aquarius, Saturn and Uranus work together. Saturn is the responsibility and Uranus the liberation. Of course, you can write a book on Aquarius, which is what I've been doing, which has been such a quest of discovery. And I was intending to have it ready to coincide with the super new moon in Aquarius, but it won't be quite ready, but will be available soon. Pluto in Capricorn is conjuncting the new moon, and Pluto continues to pull things to the surface for the continuing process of transformation. Pluto rules the subconscious, the underworld. It's also known as the dredger. Pluto dwells in the very deepest core of our being. The transformation process of death and rebirth is ruled by Pluto, which is powerful as well as empowering. In Capricorn, we see how Pluto has done the dredging of exposing corruption in our structured organisations of government, the church, financial and scientific institutions, and the rich and powerful. As Pluto moves into Aquarius on March the 23rd, only till the 11th of June 2023, it begins its harrowing 20-month journey, retrograding several times in and out of Capricorn and Aquarius to move direct in Aquarius on the 19th of November 2024, and it will stay there till 2044. Therefore, intensity will continue as we navigate the journey of Pluto in this transformational process as death of the old and birth of the new. So be aware of the extreme changes to come. Remember, we are in the initial stages of the most exciting and turbulent times of the human family. Do not get caught up in fear and terror. Take the high vantage point and do what you can to go through this time. Be grateful, appreciative and thankful for what you have, no matter how small. And most importantly, stay focused on what you want for yourself, your loved ones, and the planet. The moon is also in a trine to Mars in Gemini, and this trine aspect is harmonious. The mutable energy of Gemini is fueled by Mars, and Gemini correlates to communications, which can be expressed in many ways depending on its transiting position. On one hand, you can find the courage to speak out where needed. However, it is advised to choose your words wisely. In its shadow, the distortion can be fork-tongued. Words can be toxic, direct, hurtful and sarcastic, which is always the wit of the witless. So have this in mind, especially around family and siblings. But on the other hand, this powerful energy enables you to do and achieve many things, especially if you have a deadline or commitment. So long as this energy is focused and not scattered and unruly. Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is in Taurus, and it is currently stationary direct, commencing its journey to move forward on the 20th 24th of January, Australia time, and here Uranus in Taurus is operating inwardly with Venus. So Taurus is related to the material, where Uranus is not interested in the material at all. As covered previously, Uranus brings shocks and shake-ups which eventually lead to liberation and freedom. Therefore, one may experience this around money or other areas of the material plane, or around upsets of love-related matters, which brings one to look at their own personal value in these situations. We have 5 planets in fixed signs and 5 planets in air signs. There is a blending of persistence, planning, and consistency of these energies in their healthy expressions, with action motivated by principles, those of equality, creativity, compassion, and community. So, with the input of brilliant ideas, futuristic inventions to serve all living things, in this time we may even perhaps be introduced to other beings from other star systems. The activation of our pineal gland enables us to engage with other beings of other dimensions. This is already being experienced by some. This is talked about more and more with scholars such as Graham Hancock, John Anthony West, and Dr. Joe Dispenza. And in these encounters, wisdom and healing are reported to take place. So as you can see, we have not seen a time like this for approximately 26,000 years, and we are experiencing the greatest change for our planet and the human family as we begin to remember who we are. I don't know about you, but I am so excited about our future. It is those who don't want the change to occur that will suffer the greatest, and the change will come whether they like it or not. It's up to us to help and support them through this transitional time, as they will be very frightened. So to wrap up, how do we nurture ourselves in the new moon in Aquarius? So medically, Aquarius rules the overall brain system and function, the hypothalamus, which is part of the brain to do with memory and recall, our nervous system, our respiratory system, calves and ankles, blood circulation, and it links to the pineal gland. So some things I thought of that you may like to do during this time is start a daily meditation practice to initiate the pineal gland and calm the nervous system, because if you are experiencing high anxiety, your nervous system is engaged. And what this can lead to is our thoughts become very fractured and distorted. Take full responsibility for your actions. This is powerful when you do this. Let go of what you know you must to move forward and just keep releasing. We have to release the old to begin the new. Be in nature where possible. Come up with new and innovative ways of problem solving. And the shows that I thought were very appropriate for Aquarius, shows like Westworld, that deals with an uncontrolled power when it goes wrong with AI, and Star Trek for a sneak peek into our future. I grew up on Star Trek, so I think it is one of the most intelligent shows there is, really. And listen to your heart's intelligence. This is where you find your truth and meaning. We connect through our hearts to every living thing, to each other. We connect to the cosmos and to the original creative source as well. Be in the higher emotions of hope and gratitude, joy, relief, appreciation, and know all is well. This is the first new moon of 2023, so remember to set your intention or intentions, be as creative and innovative as you possibly can, because anything is possible. Pay attention to dreams and look to the stars. That's all from me. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye till next time. Bye-bye.